Hello there. I need you to let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay. As you can see, yet another camera. All right. I got to I got to do something with the camera I did have up there. So audio was fine. Great. All right. Um, this is a quad here. Wood panels. They're actually the dividers for a shelf or a cabinet that has you store your DVDs and videos and stuff like that. And I had extra ones. So I did paint a floral on three. I had seven of them. Here's the last four, which was black wood, but I painted it black again to give the paint something to kind of hold on to. All right. Um, so what I'm going to do with this particular painting is I will probably do the background foreground scene first. Then I'll put the elephant on at a later date, more than likely. Okay. So there's going to be an elephant with the trunk raised. It definitely will be here in the foreground. I have to position it in a way to, I don't know if it's going to cover all four slats, but it'll cover enough. But try to make the background a little bit more washed out. Okay. So it's going to take a different type of painting to do so, but we'll get through it. All right. Fatima, Sanya, Madonna, welcome. I know Davey Art with a Pen is doing a cat's eye. I didn't know that he was going to be on at the same time I would be. Oh, another thing about this camera, after a certain amount of time, this is a Canon, this is an older Canon. This is a EOS Rebel T3. Um, it's gonna cut out on me after a few minutes or so, and I just have to stop and hit the button back there and it'll come back on and we'll go on. But that's one of the drawbacks with this camera. Also, it doesn't have an audio port, so I'm going through the audio from the computer. So I do have older cameras that will do all right. This camera is interlaced, meaning if my hand moves around, you'll see like little lines, and you see how it waves around. That's an interlaced camera, older style camera that does this. Okay, it is what it is. All right. I see Fatima has resorted back to Sesame Street. She's talking about Madonna, Sanya, Fatima, all with that flat A sound at the end. Okay. Well, let's get right on to it. On the lower right hand side, we have red, green, blue, and white. All right. Okay. So we're gonna get this started it on its little merry old way. I will more than likely add glycerin to this, but maybe glycerin in the paint. Okay. All right. Oh, well, you deserve a gold star. You know your colors too. Ah. Oh. All right. Let me think here. All right. We'll start with the sky. I'll put it way up here. Once again, I want more of a bleached out type of look. So a little bit of blue, a whole lot of white, just to kind of bleach that sky out a little bit. This should be enough. So, if you guys got any interesting convo and whatnot, I would love to hear it while I'm going through this. The hill is a grassy hill or a tree lined hill. And so, plenty of white. Now, because there's no glycerin on this, this is actually wet on dry. Might have to go over it a few times, which is fine. It's only a little bit of sky, but keep in mind, I want this background such to be more or less washed out. So it gives a sense of distance, like it's a few miles away. Okay, basically. And with me not using glycerin, and it's okay, it's a little cooler in here, about 75 degrees, which is cool. I'll do multiple passes of the sky until I get it to the way I want it, more or less. And try my best to get rid of the streak marks. And what I will have to do is allow this to dry and then go back over it again. So I'll keep it like this. Once again, I just want the streaks out of there. I don't care about the bottom. The bottom will be covered by mountain. But once again, the mountain will be also washed out. And to wash it out, basically, what you're going to do is add a lot of white to your brownish green to get that effect. All right. So you can see with a light white pencil, I just marked off the places where certain things should be. Okay. And that's basically all I've done. All right. I guess I can do a little bit of this while I'm thinking about it. Let's take this light bluish color, take a little bit of green. We'll put it right in there. Just a slight touch of green, slight touch of red, very slight touch. Mix it in there. As you can see, it's more green. That's fine. I only need a small touch of red to kind of brown it out a little bit. Okay. I'll take a slight touch of water, put it in there. Okay, now that I got this weird light browny gray color happening, now I'll put my blue into it. I'll keep touching it up with blue till I get somewhat a mixture of an off blue, like that, grayish blue color. And what I'll do is just kind of pop in what will be represented as water. And I'm going to just block it in. Hopefully I made enough to do this. But if not, I can always go back over it with, more traditional-ish watercolor. I just don't want straight blue. It's not hard to remix the colors. Okay, just mix it back up again. Add a little touch of blue in it. Now, if it got a greenish tint to it, add some red. You just keep at it till you get your previous look. You just get it as close as you possibly can to it. And if you don't, that's also fine, because once again, we'll be going back over this. So it's okay. Like I see, this one is a slightly different color. It's all right. Because if I made plenty of this color, I'll just go back over it. But it'll just be a touch more blue to it to still give that weird off color. Because not every body of water is all pristine and blue. Once again, this is going to be wet on dry. So I got plenty of the other colors, all right. I'll just pop it in there. It's quite all right. Hey, Linda, how you doing? Good to see you. What is it? 4.5 by 11.5 wood slats, and these wood slats are from a DVD case, or DVD cabinet. Okay. Like I say, I can go back over this, give it a chance to dry. I do want to get some of those little ugly patches out of there, get it as smooth as possible. Now, painting on something so slick, you're more apt to have streak lines or whatnot. And remember, the paint's wet. It's sitting right on top of this thin black paint, on top of this wood. Wood has no give. Keep that in mind also. All right. Okay. All right. Let's go into... We're going to take quite a bit of this. I'm going to just go right into here. I need plenty of this color. We'll mix it right in. Pop a little bit of red in there. We'll brown it up just a little bit. We're going to need much more than this, but it's okay for right now. And a whole lot of white. I'm going to wash it right out. Okay. Get a little bit of red. We're going to grade up a bit too. Just use a little bit at a time. Okay. And that's all I'm doing. I'm going to just use a little bit at a time till I get what I'm looking for. The color mixing part, that's the fun part for me. I enjoy doing the color mixing. Okay. We'll use this as much as I can of it to block out the hill here. All right. We're going to come over here to the side where the sky is. And I'm going to just tap some mountain or grass-ish type things into it. Go a little bit into the blue so it kind of resembles some kind of trees or what have you. Just like so. Keep just like that. And then I can probably just do it each slat. Just bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down but slightly below the previous tree line here, because when you do the leaves for the previous the tree line that's gonna come up, at least a little bit of that color will show through. This will be gradually much lighter than what you're looking at. It has to be almost close to, well, not necessarily too close, but close to the sky. So it will be much lighter than what you're looking at. But at least I got like a little reference. Okay, so this is pretty much first layer. Once again, just blocking in this color. It is a scene in Africa. And the mountain's supposed to be quite a ways back, and we're going to do that by just making the mountain a lot lighter than what you see here. Go down below the line there. I should have enough to cover both slats in a perfect world. We'll see. And once again, a lot of wet on dry. There's no glycerin coating or anything like that covering this. I'm not really concerned about the streaks. We're just blocking all of that in. And once again, we're going to get it kind of light to begin with. I'm just going where the tree line is, or a little bit below where the tree line is represented. Oh, Lord. Leave it to Sonya. Leave it to Sonya. Sonya's specialty, besides DJing, is also stirring up the pot. Why not? I do that too. I'll go on other people's pages. Well, not everybody's, but a other people's pages and I'll stir the pot up. I'll see something corny. Okay. Now that I've pretty much covered everything, right? Now I'm going to bleach that out, get it close to looking like that. All right. Which is essentially a lot more white. Slight touch of green, but a lot of white. And a touch of blue in that. So we'll mix a little bit of sky color. I'm gonna need a whole lot more than this to do that bleaching out process. So let's get quite a bit of it in here. Once again, I just wanted to bleach it out a bit. A little touch of blue in there. Okay. All right. We'll go from here. Bleach it out this way. And after I do this bleaching out, then I'll start adding the little tree shapes. So once again, I'm not worried about the streaks. It's going to be covered anyway. But I do want a bleached out look to this. Cover all of that up. I might not have enough. We'll see. I'm not really concerned about this panel because the elephant will be in this area. Like that. Don't worry, I'll bring it back. I wish I could memorize properly where the heck it is. I think it's that one. Yep. So you'll be experiencing a few of those. Once again, it's just the type of camera it is. Nothing I can do about it really until I return the other one. I have other cameras that are like magnificent, beautiful picture, but they don't play with others too well, meaning that they don't take the HDMI cables, which is a nice constant boon of frustration, but it is what it is. Definitely gonna cover the tree line a bit there. The good thing about acrylic is that you can definitely just go right over it. All right, definitely go over it and continue on. Then I'll start adding slight tree texture to it. I try not to use water when dealing with the flat wood because sometimes it just doesn't appear right. It appears a little washy and whatever. But once again, doesn't matter because we're going to use similar colors for the I don't have enough light for the extra tree texture. Don't need too many colors. So sometimes my methods look a little crazy, to be honest with you. Like, what is he gonna do with all of that stripes and all that striations going on? But you'll see. You'll see. The ugly duckling stage is always kind of fascinating. Okay. Yeah, I had an aunt like that. She had big brass elephants lamps, and they were beautiful actually. They're really nice. They weren't like gaudy or anything. They were really well crafted. Of course, I drew, actually, I airbrushed an African Zulu guy in the deep brush. It was 24 by, yeah, I know it was 24 by 32 or something like that. It was in the brush with his headgear on, had leaves all over him or brushes in the bush. He was in the bush. And there was a bronze elephant standing on both legs, hind legs, in the tucks. My brother got it. That thing's got to be well over 20 something years old. But my brother got it. He put a frame on it and he's got it hanging up in his house. So yes, Fatima, the ugly duckling stage. Okay, let's let that tack up a bit. We're gonna take a little bit of blue in this green here. Okay. We'll mix it around a bit. Slight touch of red in there. Okay, which gives it that purple look. We're gonna kill some of that purple with a touch of green. Okay. We'll get a little water in there. I shouldn't really use this brush. This brush is a little coarse for this flat wood, but yeah, it is what it is. We're gonna come here and we're gonna add a little bit of this color. And of course, this watered down layered color will of course be on top of the previous color. Will I have enough? I highly doubt it. So let's do some more. There we go. Blew that up a little bit more. Something like that. Get a little bit of water. Thin the pan a little bit. And lighten it up a tad too. I am looking at a photo. Now, looking at the photo, you can get it fairly close to what it looks like. It's gonna be. I'm gonna still interpret it as my own. I'll put my own little things in it. But overall, if I showed you the photo when it's done, you'll see the similarities. But usually I don't. I try not to paint like this. I usually go from the back going towards the front. But sometimes I do what you're looking at me do now. So I'll be all over the place. And it's really because I want, once again, this area to tack up a little bit. Okay. That's all. Never grow out of that stage. Well, me either. Me either. Okay. All right. We're good with that. It's okay. All right. I can take a little more green. And I can, uh, well, no, I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to do that yet. Let's take my gross palette knife, to which I did not clean properly. It's all right. I'll just use my nail, scrape it off. We'll scrape up some of this disturbing stuff here. I don't need it. It's going to stain the paper. It doesn't matter. But I'm done using this. I don't need this. Okay. All right. This is... No, I'll just use this brush, maybe. Let me look. Yeah, we'll just use this brush. I'm going to start to use plenty of white here. And some green. We'll bleach out the green a little bit. A slight touch of blue in there. It's a little bit. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to take this and we're just going to do looks like faraway tree shapes. Okay. I could start from over here. We'll start more or less from here. Just like this. And we're going to do this pretty much all over the place. Get some of that texture going. And I'm just going to tap these tree shapes in there. We're going to use other colors. Some lighter, some darker. To make it look like just a large mountain way back yonder. All right. I know the light, because of my shadow, it's gonna be a little funky. Okay, so sorry about that. I'll get the lighting situation straight. I got another circle light. I have to have one obviously on my face for obvious reasons. One, I'm dark skinned in a black sweater. So yeah, that's not gonna be too, I wouldn't be Mr. Light Bright, that's for sure. So, but I do have another larger light that I can shine on this board that can kill some of that shadow. I just gotta find a way to hook it up where it won't be so intrusive. I got a lot of paint on the back of the brush that I'm going to utilize, but it will look like trees, especially when I put the slightly darker tones in there. But see, the stroke marks, you're not going to notice them because of the texture that you see. All right, need some more. Elephant planter, okay. I'm not covering everything. You're not going to really notice the streaks. And I'm just going toward the top here. Even though it's a lighter color, I'm using titanium white, so it does cover what you don't want around. I want you to see something too. You see how I just scratched? Now, sticky paint, look at that. See how it just lifts right up? That's what tacky paint will do when you're painting on a hardened gloss surface, because the paint thinly sits on top of that surface. So if you got something, you got a brush that's a little tacky, like mine's is getting, when you press hard enough, it'll just lift everything right up. All right. So you got to know, your surface you're painting on. Okay. I'm looking right now for I don't necessarily want another brush. I kind of like this one. So, okay, we're gonna do, as I'm looking at the painting here. Nah, I think I'll do a little bit of red, a little bit of green, like that. Mix it in. See how dark that is, right? Get quite a bit of white. Bleach it right out. More white. Bleach it out. Bleach it right out. I'll get a little bit of water, we'll loosen that up a bit. Take my brush and just spread it open like that. Mash it in there. Okay. All right, we're gonna kind of sketch out some top here. And very lightly, we're gonna put in some few dark patches in there. Something like that. We'll go in a triangle shape here. It still looks a little bleached out. And you're just adding dark patches in here. These darker patches, still bleached out, but right now your color palette is changing. And also you got to remind yourself that this gets darker when it dries. Okay. And we're going to come down here a little bit where the shadow of the previous trees that we haven't put in yet, they're hanging around down there. We'll kind of do a nice little grouping of dark in here. Like so. We'll come back around in here. Just like that. But you're starting to see what it looks like a little bit. Make sure it's kind of in focus pretty good for you guys. All right, you guys are good. Even though the color's bleached out, it's a little darker than what you previously have. Okay, still somewhat related to the color that we have up there. All right, and it's just little taps here and there. I'm doing more or less triangular shapes, elongated triangular shapes. And because I have water in this, once it dries, you still see patterns of the previous color. All right. And it's just me just tapping because I still want it more or less bleached out down here on the bottom. Get some of that going. All this is open to your own interpretation. Okay. You kind of see how it's looking there. All right. As I'm looking and staring at it, let's get a little bit of green in that, just like this. Don't know if I necessarily need water at this stage. And we'll play around with even a little bit of darker things here. Still gonna look somewhat bleached out. Still got white in there. Up toward the top a little bit. I can see it getting a little a touch tacky because some of the black is coming off, but that's all right. run it right into the other colors. You see what it's starting to look like now. All right. I'm looking at the picture, and this is where you start building and molding your painting a bit. Don't cover every single thing. Okay. That's not too bad. That's pretty cool, actually. And what gives you that shape really is this. So I got something to lead with as you're doing it. All right. Okay. Now we'll get into a slightly darker green for the far away, um, or they're a little closer. The trees, smaller trees here. All right. Okay. Let's go into our blue. Pop a little red in there, which is actually going to get a little purplish. That's all right. Get some green in that color, like so. Okay. Then I know it's kind of ironic that you would do it this way. I'm going to kill you, little fruit fly thing. He's hovering near my coffee cup. That's not good. Oh. Hey, Tamzard, how are you? Good to see you. Yes, we're going to paint some pachyderms. Okay. So over here, slightly darker trees. Okay. And right now, what I'm going to do is just block out the shrubbery. You have to do it dark enough to where it's visible. Against the other shrubs or the hill back there. You also have to paint this like nothing else is going to be there. All right. Where I'm painting right now, it's going to be a whole lot of elephant there. But you have to paint this like there's no elephant anywhere near here. And maybe put some stragglers. Let's make that a little more natural there. Put some stragglers up into the previous trees. And of course, we're going to add some love to those. So I block all of this in. I'm trying to be self-conscious about you guys looking at this. Just like that, and we'll come on down. As you see, I'm not going entirely down the bottom, not everywhere like that, because there's going to be a little bit of landmass there. Okay. So we got a little bit of that going on. Let's take some white. We're going to come over here. I'll get a little touch of water. We'll thin that up a little. And we'll bleach out some of this. Oh, probably around in here. Just like that. bring some in front like that, and it come down. Pop in some more. Gentle little taps. And we'll come here. Keep a little of the darkness in between some of these. Okay. Give it a chance to darken. And you'll see the differences. All right. All right. It's a little darker over there. So we'll kind of play with it on the top there. And keep it fairly deep there. All right. That's about it for that. Anything that happens in and out the chat is default Sonya's doing. Straight default Sonya. Why is it your fault, Sonya? It's like Mount Everest. You just simply exist. Love teasing, Sonya. All right, we got this tree stumpy thing. So we're just going to add a little bit of red into that green we have here. We'll darken it up. Did I run out of green stuff? Apparently I have. That's all right. We'll keep at it. Keep stirring that red into it. It's going to cancel each other out, turn kind of brownish there. All right. Much like that. All right. We do have a weird tree stump thing here. Right in here. It's strange that it is right here. Then it comes out. This freaky, funky looking tree stump deal. And just like that, it just comes out right into the ground. All right. And just block it in. Turn my brush around, just block it right in. See, it's kind of fascinating. It's a little dark for you guys to see it. But it's just really amazing the type of colors you can get. Okay, with just mixing a few colors and adding either white or black to it. All right, pretty cool. All right, let's take that same color. And we're going to just add more white to it. All right, same color, add more white. All right. If I had some kind of yellow, I would add that to it, but nah, just add more white. We'll lighten it up. Keep the paint fairly thick. And add a little bit of water to it. So once again, we're just blocking this stuff in. Now, this is the foreground I'm playing with here. We're going to lighten this. The foreground's a lot there, a lot tighter. I'll make sure I'll block it in correctly. It's a lot tighter here up front. I would say that these are the correct brushes to use on a surface like it's not. These brushes are a little on the rough side. They do scratch. Okay. So be careful. I'll block that in a little bit. Once again, this is just me. We're just generally blocking in color. These are hog's hair brushes that I'm using, animal hair. A little stiffer, they're actually oil painting brushes. Smooth that out. This is wet on dry, so it will dry rather quickly. And once it starts drying and getting tacky, that's where it starts to tear up a bit. All right. Once again, it all depends on the surface you're painting. You got me. Yep. Okay. I ran out of my stuff. That's not good. Stir it up real good. Get some white. Pop that titanium white in there. All righty. It used to be a little brighter than that, but we'll deal with it. It's all right. It's just a foundation color, so it's all right. Block it right in. Block it right in. I'm not worried about the streaks. We'll use that to our advantage. So I'm not really concerned about that. There we go. So I'm not concerned about that. It'll pop back. There we go. Okay. It's about dry. Be careful. If you make sure your hands aren't really sticky, filled with gunk. If so, you go across it, it peels right off. Be very careful. All right. Unsupervised, that's even worse. That's even worse. Unsupervised, that's just scary. Really is. Okay, let's take what I don't have. Hold on. Let's just put you right there for a second. I'm glad that it's going this way where I run out of paint instead of having so much paint left. And we're pretty much almost done with this. A few little details. Other than that, we're pretty close to calling it for this section of the painting. I'm looking for what I obviously don't have. I can try this. We'll give this a shot. It's really a pretty decent flat brush, not the biggest thing in the world. Okay. All right. I'm going to establish the landmass a little bit back here. Okay. It's in there in patches. All right. I'm going to get a little more titanium white. And just pick a corner of this gray. See, I'm doing this also so you can see the color shift. See how light that is? All right. Just like that. Once again, we're blocking it in, okay? Okay, come up here. Once again, we'll work with the, well, we're going to work with the bottom in general. We're going to come here and we'll straighten that out a little bit, just like that. And we're going to patch that in. Which the key to it really is try to keep it level. You can go up into the, like that, but just keep it a little on the level side. Okay. I'm gonna come out here a little bit. I'm pressing down so I get a nice little um, flat ledge, shoreline, and we're gonna narrow our brush stroke, keep it flat, so it looks like this stuff is going up into the bush a little bit. Get a little trail of something going there. All right. Thicker here. Come out here a little bit. Once again, it's just blocking all of that in. Right on across. We'll go this way. Okay. We'll flatten some of that out. And we'll add bits of shrubs and stuff in this area of land. And this is, once again, you're just blocking shapes. Okay. Block it right out. All right. And watch this. Watcheth this if. Hey, how you doing, Vermont? How you doing, boss? Thank you. Appreciate it. It's a different camera, Bruce. I have to use my other one tomorrow, so I have to take it apart. So I have my Canon DSLR, the one that clicks off in a few minutes. That one. It's also interlaced, so if you see, you'll see my little hand trails and whatnot going on with this. What it is. Of course, it doesn't have a microphone, so I'm going into the PC with the audio. Yep, yeah, I got the one that times out. There you go. So you'll see it. It'll happen soon. You'll see it. Oh, okay. Let's get on to, now that we have our little landmass and it looks a little bit wonky because there's no depth there. Okay. So you have to make it a little darker so it looks like, the bushes are coming out forward into that. Okay. All right. La 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 la. So we'll stay in this brownish area here. Little green into the little brownie stuff. We'll bring some of that brownie stuff right in there with it. A little touch of red. A little bit more red. All the red will do is cancel out the green that's in it. Okay. As you can see, you're looking right at what I'm doing. You see the color shift. See that? Okay. And I'll mash this up a little bit. We're going to come right on the bottom there. Obviously, I can't zoom in the way I would zoom in on the other one. I did change the lens. This is not going to zoom. This is about as good as it's going to get. I do have another lens in my bag that will bring it up a little closer. All right. So in here, you're gonna no. It is way too no, must be darker. Must be darker. Must be darker. Much darker. That I can see immediately that it must be darker. We'll try this. Okay. Let's try that again. I know my shadow is in the way a little bit. I'm sorry. As I'm looking at it, the answer is still no. No. Okay. When it's not necessarily working for you, I think it's the titanium white that's doing it. But that's okay. We got an equalizer. There. The great equalizer. I just need a slight touch of this. I don't need much of that. The black. There we go. Okay. I bet you it'll show up pretty dark now. You don't need much of it. All right. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it most certainly does. And just need little pockets of that in there. Okay. Don't need too much. Just in little pockets of dark. Okay. And you got to get that weird texture thing happening with it too. Bring it in here somewhere a little bit. Okay. You'll start to see it. See? Okay. You get accustomed to doing this stuff. Your mind's eye will see, what needs to be where. And black or anything dark makes things recede. And give it the opportunity to try, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And pretty much down at the bottom, bring some of that outward. Go into your brush. Brush meaning bushes. Some of that love is back here too. I'm going to add some texture out, go across like that. Okay. All right, that's cool. As you can see, I get myself away from it. All right. Okay. This is too dark for the other stuff. Let's take some white. I'm just using the white with what I have on my brush. That's why you see me sliding over here. Okay. Okay. Right up in here. I'll start adding little tree textures right in here. We're going to tap a little bit here. This is a very smooth surface. All right. I'm pretty sure there is. I got, what do they call it? Black something another on this one, because it takes that little square box out. And I'm pretty sure they do have a setting on there that stops it from doing that. I just have to find it. Then again, I rarely use that camera for that anymore. But you're right. There is a setting on there that can stop that from happening. Okay, I know where I'm at now. But yeah, there is one. Let's add. I'm gonna just slide my brush into this dark stuff creative license because I want more interesting things to happen. I'll just use the side of the brush. Okay. And we're going to add some cutesy dark stuff happening there. And that's all. I'm just adding just rocky sand stuff happening, especially down here where obviously it's closer to us. It's in shadow. And I can get away with some glycerin love, and I'll do that. So let's play around with the dirt. Oh, it's a little boy in me. Got to play in the dirt. And I'm also doing this, especially around the slats where it's going to be separated. So I'm doing a lot of that. And I'm doing a lot of that where the elephant will be standing. So it's also instant shadow. Okay. And if you're wondering where the elephant will be at, the elephant will be in between the slats here, back part, front part. The head is angled and the trunk is going up here. Okay, because there's darker leaves and stuff coming down right off the frame right here. Okay, which is why this is pretty much kind of washed out back there, because the elephant is going to be bam right smack in front of you right there. So it's going to bring him out and everything else goes back. Okay, but that's why there's a method to me madness. Yeah, it's just the side of the brush adding this fun texture. Okay. All right, let's take some white. And we're gonna go into our lighter stuff right in here. Okay. All right. And we're gonna come out here because we're gonna just exaggerate some kind of sunlight stuff happening. So you're doing the same thing you did with the dark, you're just going in the other direction. Don't get rid of everything. We're gonna come out here a little bit. Right here. Make it solid there, we'll break it up here. You only got a short window to try to blend this stuff. Once again, this is wet on dry. You got a short window for that. Very short window. No, I'm not going to do that. I will just go upside down here. I will fade and fade and fade to where I feel I kind of got some depth going on. Okay. Okay. Here, we're going to add a little, well, before I continue that on, let's go to this water. Okay. The reason why I'm paying more attention down to the bottom, because I'm pretty much done up here. This is fine. I can probably add another layer, soft layer of bluish white here. We'll see. But I'm more concentrated down here now, because after this, we're pretty much through. Okay. So let's play with the water a little bit. Let's take some blue. Went into this gray area here. All right. Get some white in that. More white. Bleach it right out there. All right. That's cool. Okay. So let's get some water going. Let's pull the brush toward me. This weird off kind of color with it. I'm going to do each and every slat. You guys will not be able to see it. This is as far as it zooms in. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm going to go touch very lightly. Very small, very lightly. Just like that. I'm not going to get rid of the previous color. All right. I'll do it per every slat. We'll try it that way. Now I am looking at the painting itself. There are small ripples. They come. Now, as we're doing these, and I'm just kind of going horizontal, little joy, little love taps there. And whatever comes off the brush comes off the brush. I'm still going in that horizontal fashion. Get as close to the shoreline as you can. It's all right. Stagger them. Still go horizontal. And you'll see what happens, because I'm going to leave a gap, a slight gap, and I'm going to do it again near the other shoreline on the bottom. You'll see. And if you go by a photograph and you look at it in this general shape, water shape, all right, what you're doing is trying your best to emulate the mass of the current. And so there's a bulk of wind blowing on one section of the water, then the water is still, and then you got another section of water doing the same thing, little small rippley deals going on there. Okay. All right. Right around here-ish. And it's going right to the shore with it. I'm going across I'm using the side of the brush. I'm varying my hand pressure. I'm moving my whole arm. Follow me? Good. Right, but you can see what it's starting to look like there. Side of the brush. Okay. Side of the brush. Go straight. Much like it's a very light touch. Get it staggering there. If it looks a little too thick or too crazy for you, you can always use your hand and just wipe. Okay. But once again, you got a short window to do that. I don't need to. I think it looks kind of cool. So we'll just keep at it. Keep it pretty heavy toward the shoreline. All right. And it staggers a little bit toward the middle here and there. All right. Now, what I can also do to relay the shine a little bit more, and I'll show you, because you can just go in the opposite, right? All right, let's take the same color, add a touch more blue to it. We're going to do the same thing, just darker blue. And you're going to go in between. I hope I got you. It's a pesky little bastard. You're not gonna get rid of don't get rid of the bluish green, your base color. Don't get rid of all of it. But right now I'm just in the middle of the water. You can see that slight change. So it's a changing current. Same technique, changing current. Go a little bit into the other areas. But obviously the bulk of what you're painting is in the middle. Okay. Do not get rid of all of the blue-green. All right. Like so. All right, we're getting there. I promise we're getting there. Okay. Let's take a script liner and some water. Let's go into our black. We'll put it right here. Let's go into our little bit of blue. We'll put the blue right in the black there. Okay, a little more extra blue into the black. Stir it up there. Get some water, put it in there, stir it up. Oh, inky consistency would be best. Okay. So you want to give a little bit of depth into your shoreline here. And here we go. Try to keep the paint brush almost vertical. And go slender, thick a little bit, slender, thick a little bit. Stop. Go somewhere else. Slender. It's like so. Get some more. And you're already getting the concept. Thin coming out, thick going down in, like that. Come on here. Thick, thin, thick, thin. A little thin going over here like that. If it's coming outward, you make it a little thin. Going inward, make it a little thick. Come back out again. Right out here. Just like that. And let's bring some of that in there like this. Spread that out. Got a little gully in there. All right. I'm just using my hand to prop. Pretty thin here. A little thicker here and thin there. That line weight makes a difference. Now you have some elevation there, back there. Okay. It's all good. I can take this color. We'll play around in here with it. Just like this. Yeah, I'm just making just dark stuff. I'll take this brush, definitely vertical, and act like you're writing. And then you get all automatic like foliage happening there. Just like this. Let it skip around and dance. Have a little fun. Just like that. Okay. These guys are a little closer to us, so you can get away with it. Very thin. Just let it dance around. And now you got little shadowy foliage deals going on. And you're just playing around. See that? You see how it looks? Do a little bit at a time. You're going to have quite a bit down on the bottom, obviously. Show off some of that depth. Okay, remember, black makes things recede, so. Well, it's not really black, but black, bluish. Anything darker will make it recede. I'll say it that way. We'll come out this way a little bit. Just have it dance around. Play around. All right. Let's go in between. Let's get some dark patches up in here. Once again, you're just adding a little depth. Brian, you can have it pretty dark here. And then have it come on up. There's different layers of dark. You got me? I'll still finagle and play. All right. Get a little water in there. Twirl my brush around. This thing makes me jump every time it does that. There we go. We're going to come in here. Make it particularly dark. Nice and deep in here. Very easy to do. Very easy to do. And once again, you just let it dry. All right. And all of this dark that I'm doing, especially around toward the middle of the painting, remember, you got to think ahead. It's going to help you frame in the pachyderm, right? Because remember, the elephant's going to be here. Okay. I'm going to probably have a different concept on how to paint the animal in. Because you notice I did not mask anything. I did not even draw the elephant. I didn't draw the elephant out at all. We're going to handle the elephant a little differently. For those of you who aren't very good with painting animals, all right, I'm going to try to show you a technique that anybody can do. It has to do with shapes. Okay. Shapes and proportion. Right down on the bottom there. Now we have some depth in there. You got me? I'm going to take a small flat brush. I'll just take this one. It doesn't matter what size. I'm going to get a little water. Let's see. No, that might not make it. Let's get a little bit of blue, a little touch of black. Let's see what that looks like. A little more black in there. All right. Slap some shadows in there. little water. So we'll put some shadow in there. See what the nice little shadows will do for you. And I'm just rubbing little shadows in there where you expect the shadows to be, which is where around the bush area. All right. It doesn't have to be straight black. Just there's different degrees of dark. Follow me. All right. There we go. See? Now, because of the way the photograph is taken, okay, you would assume that it would be darker, closer here, but no, not so. Not so. I'm going to scumble in some yellow real quick. Little yellow, little actually we'll put the little bit of yellow right next to the white here. Okay. And then this will be it, and tomorrow we'll maybe tomorrow we'll tackle the rest. Let's take a little bit of yellow right in this browny gray stuff right here, and a little bit of white right there in this browny gray stuff here. Keep stirring it. Yeah, keep stirring it there. Okay. Let's go a little bit brighter. All righty. That should make it somewhat. Okay. And here we go. Right at the top here. Horizontal, keep it horizontal. Right down to the bottom here. Right to the bottom. Keep it horizontal. You got a short window to fade this stuff in. It is bright here. Once again, once the elephant's in there, you'll kind of see. Watch yourself when you do this, because remember, you're on wood, and the paint's very thinly on top of this. So be careful. Now, watch this. I'm also looking at you guys' comments. A little bit of blue, a little bit of black, and we'll pop it in there like this, a little water right in here. Okay. Now, as you notice, once I put the color down like this, I'm going to fade out. What was that? Oh, never mind. going to fade out its edges. So it's a smooth shadow. All right. Oh, let's add some of that right here on this tree. And right a little bit here. Just a little right in there. All right. I'll take a little bit of white, touch of yellow. This is creative license stuff. We're almost done for today. And we'll all right. Okay. And I just want the tree just to stand out a little bit. All right. As I'm looking at it here, I think we're pretty much good. Once again, I'll get out of the way of the shadow. Or I get my shadow out of the way of the painting. Okay. Pretty much, as you can see, mountains pretty much it's back there. All right. These guys are a little closer. All right. I can emphasize if I desired to. If I desired to see something. I guess we're good. I can emphasize a little more brightness here, but it won't be needed because once again, I'm not really concerned about that being so bright out there. I want the elephant to be the focus. And it will be with all the shading and whatever I'm going to do with, it's a he, so do with him. And just eating bushes and crap up here, which I can actually put in right now. If I wanted to. It's simple bushes, not anything too spectacular. Really, it's just greenery up there. And I'll do that real quick. I'll put the green within the blackish stuff here. A little bit of black in that green here. A little touch of yellow. Okay. Real quick, real quick. I'm looking at where it's placed here because remember I got the slats, right? And so they kind of, it's like this. They're darker. I'll put some out here like this. And a few little thingies in there like that. And they're not too far down. They're, pretty much like that. All right. Let's get a little more green, a little more black. Yeah. Get in there. Okay. There's actually I like that better. I like that tone. Let's darken some of those up because I like the way that looks. And it brings what I need to bring more or less toward the front. All right. So I kind of like the way that looks. That brings it, bam, right to us. All right. Yeah, I see the joke. Cute. Actually, you know how tall elephants are? Well, I mean, maybe he's under a rock or on sitting on top of a rock or something. I don't know. All right, I like that. Now watch what I'll do with the same color. I don't know if I need it to be any darker. Let's clean off this brush pretty good. Right here. Let's take that same greenish black. And we're going to throw some little branchy, twiggy things in there like this. Maybe a touch more black. And some water. Like that. Have fun doing these. Have a ball. Have a ball. Have a ball. Now, for those of you who might have seen me do these and looked at my process and like, dude, what's wrong with you? But it all comes together. It all makes sense. If it looks doubting, if it looks kind of nuts, give it a chance. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't be easily discouraged if it doesn't look right. Doesn't seem to come out right. You got to keep going with it. Don't stop part way through and just give up. Don't do that. Does it get frustrating? Sure, it gets frustrating. Yes, it does. It will. Will it get on your last nerve? Of course it will. Then you know what? Once you succeeded, you can the joy of it of succeeding is that much better than trying to get it the first time out, out the gate. You'll treasure it more. All right. Really not too much here. I'll just kind of play around with a few things here. I'll come down there like this, like that. All right. All right. Obviously, I'm not going to sign my name on it because the elephant's not done yet, but I'll just take this and go to number. Let's go to the main screen. Oh, that's the audio switch. I'm sorry. Let's go back to 2 with that. It's not going to matter. Let's go here. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, well, here we go ish. I think we're pretty much centered. I think it's somewhat in focus. I think it's, yeah, well, it's in focus. So I'm going to get it. Well, anyway, here we go. There you go. Now the mountain is looking bleached. Now it does got that, you see the whitish blue tinge. The same kind of blue stuff in there is in this, but it's further back. All right. These are a little closer, but not really super duper detailed. It's more shadow than anything else because it's going to help block Mr. Pachyderm. Okay. The bulk of the elephant will be uh, front leg, back leg, rear. The head is upward, but the head is going up into the bushes there. All right. All right. And remember, there's 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I might have to take a razor blade and cut. All right. So when the paint peels, it doesn't peel it all the way. So I'm going to have to cut it. All right. Because what happens when you paint over it, obviously you're going to get a seal like that. And so if you try to pull it apart, guess what happens? The wood will pull apart, but then you got this liquid rubber that's going to want to decide which way to go. All right. I'm reading the chat. Oh, what's wrong, Linda? It was a joke. I thought it was cute. The image is disturbing, but yeah, I thought it was a cute joke. Okay. So this is what we have so far. This is this is completed for this evening. We will concentrate on the elephant tomorrow. I will show you how pretty much how to do it with shapes and proportions. Obviously, I can't pencil it. We're gonna have to just do it with the paintbrush. All right. Do the main shapes. You block it in. Then after you block it in, you do the general shading, light shade, whatever. Then after that, once you're happy with that, then we'll start doing details on the animal. Okay. And as when we get to this sometime tomorrow, I'll think in my mind's eye where to exactly place the animal. It's really not too far from the bottom of this stump. Um, like I say, the one leg would probably be here. One leg will be here. The other 2 legs are somewhere here, which comes up. The ear would be here. The head is at an angle, and then the trunk goes up. Okay, and the trunk has to cross the last slack, so you have that type of planning to do also. All right. That's a good one, Bruce. Yeah, that's a good one, Bruce. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Sonya's gonna be bashful now. Man, please. Some of the topics we talked about in the past. Now she wants to be shy. Okay, guys. While you guys are talking about elephant nuts and pygmies, I'm gonna sign off. I do appreciate you guys watching. I shall see you when I see you. And until next time.